we do have 4 singers for each section. Bonnie's in Paris.
Ooh,
Barb just got back from England and has COVID. Sherry has half of her family here. And who else am I missing? Barb, Sherry, and that's it. All the soprano. And Alicia is on her way with Carol, and we have all 4 alto ones here. So yay. So I wanted to, since Jan and Carol are on board, I wanted to clarify a little bit about If Not Now, which is our program that we are doing. That we are doing with Colorado Hebrew Chorale and Unity Project, Colorado Springs. So Unity Project is not a traditional choir. They founded in the midst of the pandemic, and so most of their stuff they did virtually, and they basically use music as a jumping off point for conversations about racial equity and diversity. And I reached out to one of their directors, Victoria Lipscomb, who is Black, because we were on a committee together, and she saw I invited her to woman to woman, and I said maybe we can do it together next year. And then we started dialoguing, and so they're not the traditional prepare a repertoire, perform. And so in the course of our conversations of how something like this would work, you know, I brought up the fact in conversations about diversity, equity. Hey, Barb, you look
here, sort of,
as my mother would say.
I have no voice.
Oh my God! She looks a little not well. As long as you can hold out is good, and when you need to go, go. And so in our conversations, I brought up the fact that our particular flavor of minority is never part of the conversation of diversity, equity, and inclusion. In part because for many people, Jews are white. And I sent you that I don't know if you watched it, I need to rewatch the session about Jews and whiteness, which was very hard. And so invariably, we are on the wrong side of the equation. You know, when it's good to be white, we're not white. When it's bad to be white, we're white. And so so what we decided is that we were going to do a 2-year partnership. They worked with a facilitator, Dina Solomon, who used to live in Denver, who is Jewish, and who charges a whole lot of money, to which I said, we don't have money for that. But they were able to get a grant. Being their mission is what their mission is, they have deep pockets that support them, obviously. You know, if we were people of color, we'd find different kinds of funding too. Or what is defined currently as people of color, which we are not. And so they were able to get a grant to fund Dina coming from DC for the full 2 years. And so what this is going to look like is 2 different things. One is conversations within who we are. Because, you know, all I know is what I think we do is, and how I feel comfortable manifesting being Jewish. And this is something that we've never talked about. We welcome non-Jewish members. Do we know if anybody here is not Jewish? Typically not, because we don't talk about it. And so we will have within ourselves conversations about who are we? You know, what does it mean? And these are often uncomfortable conversations, and this is practice for us because when we get together with their choir, it will be that much more uncomfortable. And it's hard to have these conversations honestly. And so when we talk amongst ourselves and we clarify to ourselves how we feel about our Jewishness, how we feel about whether or not we're defined, each of us, not collectively. I don't expect us to come to a collective conclusion about how we define Jewishness and whiteness or how we define being Jewish. But it's important for us to be able to have the conversations that even if the person across from you is telling you the way they do Jewish and you think to yourself, well, that's idiotic. To not think, to say to yourself, okay, this is not right. You know, it may not work for me, but it works for this person, and therefore I'm not going to tolerate it. I'm going to accept it. The difference between acceptance and tolerance. And we will meet with the Unity Project 3 times a course of the season. The first one will be October 23rd. 2 of the meetings will be here, and in February we are going to Colorado Springs. I can't mandate that anybody do anything. I ask that you give it a chance, especially since 2 of the meetings are here in Denver. We discussed, since we are hosting, and HEA is allowing us to meet here at no cost. They may join as a partner in a bigger way. We're still trying to gauge that conversation, but we are meeting here and we know what kosher labels look like, and we will be providing snacks when we're here. We asked, and that will be a learning experience for them. And so our first conversation will be on the 29th, I believe. I don't remember. I have it on 29th of September. That's 2 weeks from today, where we'll stop singing at 7:45 to 8, and we'll speak for half an hour, 40 minutes. And I will send you ahead of time some prompts to think about. And then October 23rd, we will be here. Dina will be coming in. And the exact time we're meeting at 3 in the afternoon, it will be probably close to 3 hours. Our sessions will include.
What day of the week is that?
Sunday. Yeah, Sunday afternoon. We will not be recording those sessions. We will not be recording our conversations. This is, we need to respect our own space. And so our sessions with Dina will include some frontal presentation from her, some small group conversations, a bunch of singing. We've chosen things initially for this season. We've chosen some things that are easy to learn by rote. They have non-readers. We have non-readers. The goal is to sing together, not spend a lot of time learning. And so we will be singing, and that'll help cleanse the palate when the conversations get a little too hot. Food, of course, and socializing. And we hope over the course of the 2 years to build a relationship with them. The second season, our sessions, the music part of our sessions, and we haven't gotten that far yet. The music part of our sessions will include rehearsing songs that we will perform jointly, with the goal towards the end of the 23-24 season to perform together once in Denver, once in Colorado Springs, with each choir performing a set, performing a joint set. And we have a meeting for the board to clarify the specifics on this on Friday, but it's been made clear to them that we are not happy with Jesus music. We don't mind singing stuff that's not Jewish, but Jesus, the Mary, the Trinity, resurrection, all those good points. Our group doesn't do that, and we would prefer that not to be part of the concert if possible. Okay, so some food for you to think about. I did send you last week a calendar with all kinds of dates. If you would put those in your individual calendar, that would be wonderful. And let's stand up and do some warm up, which we didn't do last week. And if you're in the back, please, find a keyhole. We're going to be a little flexible about how we're sitting. We'll see how you feel in 2 rows. We'll see when everybody's here how you feel in 4 rows, and we'll go from there. All right. So, standing tall, shoulders parallel to your hips, knees unlocked. And can you hear me okay if I talk like this?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to make it a little louder because I know I get whispery at this point. Inhale, your head. Exhale, stretch your right arm up, lift your left heel off the floor. Inhale, come to center. That was wrong. Yes, okay. I'm out. Now inhale, stretch your left arm, lift your right heel. Exhale, come to center. Inhale, stretch both arms up, and if you can, lift your heels off the floor. Stretch, balance is so good for you. And exhale, come to center. Inhale, stretch arms way up high. And exhale, bring your arms down. Be careful not to smack anybody in the face. Inhale, bring your shoulders up to your ears. Hold your breath and squeeze, 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 squeeze. And exhale, release.
There's a little card for Barbara. Someone who is COVID.
KN, capital K, capital N, 2021. That's for Barbara. Inhale.
I didn't catch it.
Shoulders up to your ears. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Inhale, bring your shoulder blades back. Hold your breath. Press back as far as you can. Don't hurt anything or pop any stitches. And exhale. Those of you who have had the surgery know what I'm talking about. Inhale, shoulders back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Stretch, 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 and release. Inhale, bring your shoulders forward. Hold your breath and stretch out the space between your shoulder blades. Stretch, 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 stretch. Exhale, release. Inhale, shoulders forward. Stretch out between your shoulder blades. And release. And just put this in my copy in case I seal. Inhale, one arm over your head. Take hold of the opposite ear. As you exhale, using the weight of your arm, stretch your neck. Exhale, down from your ear, down your neck, down your shoulder, and out your fingertips. Feel that nice, nice, nice stretch along your neck and shoulder. Inhale. Exhale and release. Hit anybody, use the arm. As you exhale, use the weight of your arm. Don't bend your body. As you exhale, down from your ear, down your neck, down your shoulders, and out your fingertips. Stretch, inhale. And we're going to do a little bit of humming. Breath. So I heard some of this. You want to breathe into your lower abdomen. If you do this, you're pursing, you're drying, you're making noise. You don't want to make noise. Inhale, low down. Very nice. Here we go. What to do? Good. And down. And down. Problem. Gentle fingertips here will help you. Don't squish. There's teeny tiny muscles here, and it just helps them. Here we go. And up. And up. And up. And up. singing just for fun. We're going to run La Fila. Yeah. We're going to run it. It's not going away. I love it. It's so beautiful. And this was one of a scant handful. Now, certainly not goodbye. There were several pieces that we didn't do our best at the performance that we could. And so this is one of them that could have been there. Soprano ones, you may want to consolidate your space. Do you like that, Anne? It could have been the political way of saying it could have been there. Nothing was bad. Nothing was bad, but we could have done this better. All right, here we go. Listen to the tempo. Everybody's going to come in on soprano one because we want them to sing the right tempo. Here's what Nanny's doing. Everybody on the melody? Let me walk to a land that I will show you. Yeah, you want to go. Let me get to love. If you slow down, everybody's going to follow you. Here we go. We're running the whole thing. We're not stopping again no matter what. I just needed that. No, I promise. I want you to see where you are. So let's do anyone can sing first. So, composer Andrea Ramsey writes, this work is the culmination of a beautiful collaboration of choir, composer, and poet. Introduced to this poem of William Hyatt's Ants by a member of Sistrum Langston Women's Chorus while on site with them for the Choral Music Experience workshop. Through the process of writing this piece, I've developed a beautiful creative friendship with the poem William Hyatt. His insight to the creation of the poem lit a fire under me to depict a journey many of us have traveled or will travel in our lifetime. The sense of going to a place of great vulnerability and fearing we aren't enough. fearing we are empty or hollow, or perhaps wrestling with events that have occurred in our life to make us feel shame or hurt. I attempted to bring an oral representation of this, quote, last dark hiding place, beginning in measure 31 and growing more frenetic until ultimately finding redemption in the key change in measure 50 as we quote, sing to the little boy. Hi, Alicia. This is Alicia. Aviva, Lainey. This is your soprano two partner. So find out there's a few more. Oh, there were 10 Kamisha Asras. We'll figure it out. So what I'd like to do is read you the poem and then play you the song, which is posted on the memory page. So here is the text, and it's inside the. It's spectacular. And I need to contact Andrea Ramsey. She shared with us at our session an email that William sent her about how he wrote this poem and when he first recited it at Shakespeare's Globe Theater, and it's really quite remarkable. And I will share that when we do this song in text and context. So there's anyone can sing. You just open your mouth and shape to a sound. And what is harder is to proclaim the soul, to initiate a wild and necessary deepening, to give the voice broad, sonorous wings of solitude, grief, and celebration, to fill the body with echoes of voices lost long ago to bravery and silence, to prize the reluctant heart wide open, to witness defeat, to suffer contempt, to shrink, lose face, go down in ignominy, to retreat to the last dark hiding place where the tattered remains of your pride still gather themselves around your nakedness, to know these rags as your only protection, and yet still open to face the possibility that your innermost core may hold nothing at all, and to sing from that, to fill the void with every hurt, every harm, every hard-won joy that staves off death, yet honors its coming, to sing both full and utterly empty, alone and conjoined, exiled and at home, to sing what people feel most keenly, yet never acknowledge until you sing it. Anyone can sing, yes, anyone can sing. And so I have to tell you that it took me 4 or 5 times listening to this before I could listen to it without oh, it's not the recognized. Okay, so I'm just going to get past this ad hopefully.
The doctor diagnosed me with COPD.
Okay, here we go.
Wow.
Impressions. Anybody want to share anything? I don't see anybody crying. I'm telling you, the first 4 times I watched and so, as I shared with Ann, I had that morning, I planned my season, and then I had this session. I said, okay, I have to do this song. And so there went 2 songs. Yeah. So they produced this song. So, obviously she does not use the whole text. It's a lot of text. And so that is something also that we will discuss in text and context, some of the choices that she made and how, even though she cut out significant chunks, she retains, the essence of the poem. So one of the things
kind of like turning a book into a movie.
But I think it is also dependent. Yes, but it is dependent also on the composer. So we've worked, for example, with Susan and Brown, which those of you who remember, she sent me a Song of Hannah to look at. So not for this year, but maybe next year I have to listen to it and think about it. And so Susan is very much whatever the size and shape of the poem, that's the size and shape of her piece, versus somebody like David in The Valley Awakens, that he knows that every line of text is going to turn into 30 or 40 seconds of music. So he wants a short poem because he's going to do all kinds of stuff with it. Andrea Ramsey, all of her songs, all of her pieces are different. If you're interested, she's one of the composers that she said the great majority of her pieces are for women's voices. She directs women's voices. She's pretty incredible. Anyway, so one of the challenges of this, so think about the Shuv, this piece which we've looked at, and think about this and think about the big structure. How are they different from each other?
Yeah, there's like it's just one big run-on sentence.
It's one big, and that's called through composed. So she does have the anyone can sing, which he also does.
Right.
He opens and closes, and he says anyone can sing once at the beginning, and she does it twice.
But there are like phrasing patterns. So you have phrases like witness defeat, suffer contempt, drink from love, and then you have the positive connotations when you're building back up towards the end.
If it helps, the big peak is on page 9.
Yeah, so to fill the void with every hurt, every harm, every hard won joy.
And so she takes really those patterns, I think she takes from the poem, and I think that's part of how she selected what she's going to use out of the poem. So for instance, he writes, and yet still open to face the possibility that your innermost core may hold nothing at all, and to sing from that to fill the void. And she uses, and yet still open to sing from that, to fill the void, right? So to sing from that, to fill the void. So she does make choices. So yes, it is through composed, similar in many ways to Val, the way that Valley is through composed, although he has things that repeat. And so the challenge of through composed is that we have to do the different moods, and you saw there's places where there's chromatics. There's
a lot of unison too.
There's a lot of unison, and it's very carefully chosen.
She creates really pretty chords.
She does. She creates
like I would say that I don't remember the correct quote. The theme or the mood it's both haunting and hopeful.
Yeah.
And she really uses the music and the quality of the chords. And the resolution of those chords
I think I'm going to have you read the text. No, that's great. Those are all excellent insights. Excellent insights. And what about the piano part? Right? So there's not a lot of big bombastic, but the piano is an additional. It's really
another voice.
An additional voice, similar to Song of Ruth, right? Without the piano. And so both the introduction and the end. Now, you might have noticed that the meter changes a lot because a lot of the way she sets it is the way we speak. And delightfully, in a possible homage to Mozart, every time anyone can sing comes back, it is a different rhythm.
Yeah, the tone almost starts to read a little bit like medieval, a little bit liturgical. I'm thinking Hildegard of Bingen. I got Hildegard of Bingen. That might just be because I'm a Hildegard. Yeah, that might just be.
You know what? I'm friends with her on Facebook, and I will send her a message on that.
Wait, are you really? She's been dead for like 1,000 years.
No.
Oh. I was like, I've seen her relics in Germany. Like, your friend, that's amazing. I want my thesis on her. That's crazy.
I can't believe how good she is.
She looks. I was about to be like, damn, everyone's on Twitter nowadays. Oh, dang, I need to tell my supervisor that. That was funny.
That's wonderful.
No, it started to read a little bit like canticle, just in my limited
you know what?
opinion.
I'm sure that Andrea is familiar, and I'll ping her and see what she says about that.
I'd be very interested.
Yeah, that'd be if you don't mind sending me a text, remind me. Not a second, but so let's start. What I'd like us to do, because we want to do a little bit of singing on this because it's just so beautiful. So we're going to go pages 1 and 2. You may have noticed what this choir and this recording, as I said, is on the Kol Nashim member page, or look for Andrea. Anyone can sing Andrea Ramsey, and this is what comes out, and it's with the score. If there's no, you don't see the choir, it has the score for 50 pages. So measure 16, that first half note is going to be at the longest idiotic quarter note with an 8 rest, possibly a quarter note with the ing on the rest. Because what is harder is start something new. So we have a little retard there, and so we're going to need some kind of breath. Emmy, E-N, Emmy, no diphthongs, no anything other than any. So going back to measure 5, Emmy, one, ing. The final consonant will be on the quarter rest. And one can sing, measure 9, ing on that rest. Just open your mouth, please get rid of the R. TH of the mouth is going to be on the rest of the next measure. And give shape, she, don't go she, to, like, shape to 2, she to, sa, on down, sa, on down to 14, okay, and as you noted, Claudia, there's a lot of unison, so we start unison. We don't have any divisi till measure 9. Yeah, and then soprano 2 and alti are in unison at for a little while at measures 11 and 12. So let's read the text with the rhythm. And so the way that you take that 7/8, and notice that anyone in 7/8 and then anyone can in 6/8. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2 versus 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, anyone can sing starting in measure 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Anyone can sing 2, 3, off. Anyone can sing. You just open your mouth and give shape to a sound. Anyone can sing. Yeah, sing. All right. So you and give shape to sound. No, stop. You just toe. Slide that stroke and
Clarify the vowel, please, in measure 13.
sa.
Sa.
Okay. People will add the almond at the end, so if we aim for we will hopefully not get
We'll let you
sound.
do the owl.
Yeah.
We'll just go sa.
Yeah. So we are, let's see, soprano 2. Jessica, were you soprano 2 and 3? You were alto in 3 parts. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4 alto, 1, 2, 3 soprano 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 soprano 2. You're good at soprano 2. I think you guys actually like soprano 2 last week. Oh. Yeah, usually. All right. So Neely's going to play parts, what she can. And we're going to go. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2. Anyone can see. Anyone can see. You just open your mouth and give shape to a sound. 1, off. Anyone can sing. What? Okay, yeah. Go back. Everybody on soprano 2, please. Everybody on soprano 2. We have some wonderful leaders in soprano 2. And some ladies that need help, so we can help them. Here we go. Ready? Everybody on soprano 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Anyone can sing. Oh. Anyone can sing. You just open your mouth and give shape to a sound. Anyone can sing. Okay? Soprano 1, soprano 2. Auntie, sing a part, sing a part.
I'm gonna sing out there.
Anyone can sing. Yeah, just one, two soprano parts right now. Anyone can sing. You just open your mouth and give shape to a sound. Anyone can sing. Yeah, so soprano 2 is that G natural. That's going to be at the jump down to the E is going to be. You need to just have that in your voice and not be looking at it going, oh shoot, what's that? All right. Everybody on alto. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Anyone can sing. 4. Anyone can sing. 1. You just open your mouth and give shape to a sound. Anyone can sing. All right. Put 3 parts together and we'll let Neely finish the part. Anyone can sing. Anyone can sing. right, wait, here we go. One,
Anyone can sing. Anyone can sing. You just open your mouth and give shape to us now. Anyone can sing.
good. Yeah, we want to keep going, right? It's gorgeous. This is why we did two songhymns for this. So feel free to listen to the recording, but like don't memorize that recording. Andrea's comment was, boy, they took a lot of liberties with the time. And if you, I thought it was gorgeous. It didn't bother me. I thought it was very convincing. But we have to get to our interpretation, not copy theirs. But if you look at the duration, she writes 3.5 minutes.
Right.
The recording is 5.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I felt it was.
You felt it, and I mean,
I liked it.
I liked it. I liked it, and I think there's places where you just want to just do the younger chords. Okay, so Hamisha Asad, and we will get it properly. Meanwhile, yeah, no, I had 10, and I just assumed certainly there so more overlap with coloring. All right, so Hamisha Asad. So, everybody, we are going to be singing this, as I mentioned earlier, with Colorado Chorale and Altitude, which is the high school Denver children's choir. We will sing it on January 5th at Raisins and Almonds. We will have at least one joint rehearsal with them. It's January 22nd on Sunday. I'm sorry, those of you who work on Sundays, you do the best that you can. And hopefully, we are trying to convince them to come December 19th, which is a Monday, Colorado Chorale, where we'll have a rehearsal and Hanukkah party. Details to be come. So you notice that this is SATB, and we are an SSAA choir. So just so you know, the altos sing the melody all the way through. So I'm going to ask our alti to sing. Well, it may be low. I don't know that we have alti to go down. Sherry, and even that's okay. All right. So notice that this is in 7/8. Yeah. So let's please. Yeah, the whole thing is in 7/8. I can share with you that I did CME workshop with Janet Galvan, and she had this, and I conducted it. And the comment that I got was, nobody ever saw a rear end move like that. Oh yeah, which was one of the reasons I went there for, which is like, this here has to be still, but inside, inside it's doing. All right. So if we can please, everybody, put your music down. I'm going to go pick a hand, either one or both. So the pattern for 3 is 1, 2, 3, right? And so normally it's ba, 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 ba. That's normal 3, which is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when we conduct 7, that's regular like this. 3 plus 2 plus 2. The first one gets a little longer. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, because otherwise you're going 1, 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that doesn't feel good. Okay, so this song is Ladino. Ladino is Judeo-Spanish. Yeah, Judeo-Spanish. This is an arrangement by Nick Page, and he got it from Flori Jagoda, who is Bosnian. So this is Bosnian Ladino, which is not going to be identical to Spanish Ladino or Portuguese Ladino or Turkish Ladino. Okay, it moves around. So, and similar to Yiddish, it takes from Spanish, it takes from Hebrew, and it makes up its own words as well, or has its own words as well. Ladino is a very ancient language. It was spoken, I think it's back at, Steph will have the more accurate number, but certainly before the expulsion, before the Inquisition, before 1492, it was a good 100 years before then, that it was spoken. So,
And it continues to be spoken to this day.
and it continues to be spoken, although like Yiddish, much less, although Yiddish is having a resurgence, I don't know, I can't speak to Ladino.
Ladino is trying a little bit.
Yes,
Because Hildegard of Bennett knows
certainly,
it, right?
Yeah.
Israel's still spoken in Turkey.
Yeah, it's, you know, like many minority cultures.
Probably also in Seattle.
Yeah. Speaking Ladino in Seattle.
No, that's where
There's
they
a
went.
there's
That's
a pretty good, yeah.
The largest congregation in terms of the Spanish Portuguese is there, more so than the people in New York.
There are also some Sephardim in the UK that are trying to
right.
resurrect
So
Ladino a
and-
little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
So,
And by a few Sephardim, I mean
Yes.
like 2 or 3 that I know.
just,
so this melody was like collected.
this is Flori Jagoda.
She made up a melody.
Oh, she made up. Okay.
Okay. So this is for Tu B'Shvat. Tu B'Shvat is the 15th of the month of Shvat, which coincidentally, not. Our Raisins and Almonds event is February 5th, which is the day before Tu B'Shvat. Tu B'Shvat starts that night. So as we have our showcase, Tu B'Shvat will be starting. Hamisha Asar is 15 in Hebrew, which she uses it to mean Tu B'Shvat. So Hamisha Asar, Hamisha Asar. Then habernos, vamos a cantar. Come visit us and we will sing. Cantar, cantare.
That's a lot.
Yeah, volare. But later he goes, cantare. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay,
But that's Italian.
that's Italian. But Italian is related to Spanish. and
They're all, it's the same Black Bay pronunciation.
They're all related. And so you're not going to have ven habernos, please. Ven habernos. If you can't roll your R, ask Alicia for lessons. Otherwise, please do a D. Ver habernos. Ven habernos. So I finally figured, I was looking at the translation today. La balabaya. Okay. Balabaya. Yeah. So in Hebrew, we say the owner, the boss, or the homeowner is Ba'al Habayit, owner of the house. Balabayit, balabus in Yiddish comes from that, balabus. So la balabaya is a balabus who's a female.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So la balabaya, there we go. La balabaya, the balabayit, the head of the house, most aspera is waiting for us. Con 15. So 15 is 15, right? So we have Hamisha Asar, 15, 15 platos, 15 plates, de fruta, of fruit. So it's traditional for Tu B'Shvat to eat all the fruits that are mentioned in the Torah, dried fruits and nuts and all this stuff. So for Flori's Bosnian tradition, they have 15 pupu platters, 15 little plates. Okay, so we're going to speak.
Except go around and get goodie bags.
She wasn't going to come. She was going to do Zoom. We're so glad that you're here. All right. So repeat after me. Hamisha.
Hamisha.
Asar.
Asar.
Hamisha Asar.
Hamisha Asar.
And in the rhythm. Hamisha Asar. Hamisha Asar. 1, 2, 3, ready, go.
Hamisha asar, hamisha asar.
Be careful on that first ha, because you're going to want to hold it too long, and then it turns into eight notes, which is just 1, 2, 3,
So it's a
4.
ha.
Hamisha asar, hamisha
You're
asar.
saying it both ways. Is it a ha or a ha?
Ha. I'm not saying it too. It's hamisha asar. Hamisha asar, hamisha asar. It's just that you don't want it, Claudia, if you do it down here, it's very difficult to sing. So you want to do it. It's in between a huh and a h. Yeah, I can show you afterwards. You know, you do it without closing your throat. It's very much here. Then habermos.
Then habermos.
Be careful, it's not then. E-o.
Then habermos.
Vamos cantar.
Vamos cantar.
And the R at the end of cantar is, you're holding it so long, it's just going to kind of go. Then habermos, vamos cantar. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1.
Then habermos, vamos cantar.
Good, from the top. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Hamisha asar, hamisha asar. Then habermos, vamos cantar.
Okay, I still hear you going a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, and.
Hamisha asar, hamisha asar. Then habermos, vamos cantar.
Okay, la barabaya.
La balabaya.
Little bit of tongue, right? In Spanish, do you speak with a lot of tongue or a little bit of tongue?
La.
La.
La. I love.
A little, you.
La.
La balabaya. Lots, she says lots of tongue, but don't let it slow you down. La balabaya. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
La balabaya.
Okay. Mos aspera.
Mos aspera.
Con 15 platos.
Con 15 platos
De fruta.
de fruta.
La balabaya mos aspera.
La balabaya mos aspera.
Con 15 platos de fruta.
Con 15 platos de fruta.
If you think you're going to forget what the words mean, it's so important to understand what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. La balabaya. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2.
La balabaya mos aspera con 15 platos de fruta.
And it repeats.
La balabaya mos aspera con 15 platos de fruta.
Okay, so now you're looking at it, and those of you who are not great readers are going, shoot. My brain is, okay, so Neely's going to play the melody once, and just listen, because this is a mode, and it's the same thing all the way through. So the best thing that you can do for your brain that doesn't like to read notes is memorize it. Even if you just write the words on a piece of paper, just memorize it, because it's the same, it's like a blues scale. It's got accidentals in it, but they're always the same accidentals. It doesn't change. You get the sound in your ear and you're good. Here we go. Yeah, you can play your part because you have the melody in your part. So here she goes. She's going to be here. So, you want to? Yes, she does. Yes, she does. Yes, she does. And we're going to leave it at that. You and I can talk about it later.
I'll call Nick, but when, and I did with Nick Page. He said so much slower. So
well, I don't know. I mean, he's got performance time in 2 minutes.
no, don't look at that.
Yeah.
Don't look at the performance time. He has made amends for the performance time.
Okay.
And he does not, feels that the piece, the spirit of the piece is compromised when people take it at this light breakneck speed, because it's really meant as a lovely ballad.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you that when I conducted in Ithaca, it was belly dancing speed.
You didn't see the use of the belly dancing? It's great.
I did not.
Golden egg.
I did not. Okay, do on the melody, please. Do on the melody. Neely's going to play her part, and I bet you that you don't even need to look at your music for the melody. Here we go. She's going to start with her introduction. Let's add the words. Okay, and that lovely, it's almost snake charmer, right? Think snake charmer. Here we go. Okay, good. Now, wait till you see how much of this song you've already learned. Turn to page 4, please. So the words slightly different, but very similar. Measure 28. Hamishasa. Ven a vernos. Vamos bailar. Bailar? Dance. Yeah, we sang. Now we're going to dance. Lava la vayamos a espera. But this time, what does she have for us? Lava, clava, y cabe. Baklava. Yeah, baklava. And February 5th, we will have baklava y cabe. Yeah. Baklava y cabe. Okay, so text, let's review just the text so we get the changes in. At 28, speaking, I know you want to sing it. I'll sing in a second. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1.
Hamisha asar, ven a vernos, vamos allá. La vayamos a esperar, la vayamos a esperar,
Okay, here we go with Neely. She's not helping us now. Her part is different. Here we go. You play your part. 1, 2, 3, 1.
Hamisha asar, ven a vernos, vamos allá. La vayamos a esperar,
one more section, measure 53. You look at the alto part, exactly the same. That's the soprano, but we're all going to sing the alto. You know this. This is the same as it was at the beginning. Right there. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. section. All right. Let's see. We're going to do this. So there's 6 people in the back row, and there's 6 people in the front row. So, all right, let's get back to do some work.
So what kind of birth
Permanent cut. Permanent cut. All right, let's go back. Let's do the shoe. I know I had no on for loan on, but if we have time, we'll run through that. So let's go back to the shoe. And I'd like us to review what we did last time and see how much we remember of the chorus, which we did last spring. Okay, so speaking, please pick up to measure 4. They don't. The software doesn't put enough measure numbers.
Right.
It does it automatically, and it's a pain in the neck to don't put it.
Yeah,
I like to put it at the top of the John. All right, speaking. 1, 2, 3.
The shoe.
1. And just a reminder, measure 16. The t is going to come in the last 8th note of the measure before the down beat. Yeah, measure 16. Yeah, I want, whenever there's a downbeat rest, we want it clean. There's not going to be any consonants on downbeat rest. All right, you, if you could play parts. On the top. All right, you ready? 1, 2, 2, 3, off. 1, 1.
We're doing sopranos.
One, two. One, 2, 3, 4, 1. Off, 2, 3. 2, 3, 2, off. 2, 3, off. 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 Okay, back to the first page, please. All right, let's fix that. Speaking and measure 5. 1, eh. When is the eh? It's on the beat, right? On beat 3. So remember I told you to mark the notes that are on the beat? You want to do that. It will help you keep your place. 1. Don't turn the page, we're not going. So, she is on beat 3, right? What else is on beat 3? Da is on beat 3. 1. 1, 2, 3. And we're all unison here, so everybody singing, please. Yeah, I did it wrong. I did it early.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, da's not. Ha's on 4. Ha is on 4. Yeah, da is not on 3, but ha is on 4.
Right.
Yep. That was my
Can we
eyes.
do it again?
Yes.
Count again.
1 and 2. 1, 2, 3. Don't bother turning the page because we're going to add pitches and make sure that the rhythm stays. Yes.
Are you doing niche F or niche?
Niche. Well, we have not determined yet whether it's less you. Yeah, I've been looking for that. Mine are like this.
I would say
at least
you never
she does
will.
one at a time, not minor 6 and 7s. And I have a brother.
We have a question.
I have a brother who has a sneeze that all of my nephew's classmates, when they hear it down the hall, they go, "That's Koshi's father." Yes, question.
The time signature. It's not 2. It's
2-2.
It is.
We are doing it in 4, but it's 2-2. Neely wrote it in 2-2, but we're doing it in 4-4. And depending on how comfortable we become with the rhythm, it may change into 2-2. Right now, I feel it in 4. If we get to where we feel it in 2 and can keep it going, generally speaking, my experience has been the more complicated the rhythm, the better you are doing subdivisions because it's not going to be accurate. We have not decided whether we're doing it smooth or disconnected. For right now, we're doing it choppy. And please put accents when it falls on the beat. Feel free to put an accent there. It's more important that right now we don't have the skills yet to work on the music expression of it. Right now we got to get everything in the right place. Okay, from the top. Sorry, our top. Pick up to 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Off. 1, 2, 3. 4, 1 and 2. And good. Much better for 1, 2. All right, let's work just on rhythm there for a second, then we'll do parts. 1, 2, boom. Up, on 4, right? 1, 2, boom. 4 and 3 and it is on 4. Hamno 1. Hamno ra. The first is on the beat. Okay? Everybody on the alto part. The first in measure 12. Yeah, it's tricky. If you listen to, we only have a MIDI recording of it. You listen to it, it's like, oh, it doesn't sound that. And then you look at it. Blame her. Here we go. Alto part. Everybody on the alto part. 1, 2. Sorry. Measure not. Measure not. We're all unison on the first part. 1, 2. One more time. 1. One and one and one.
I don't see forehand on there. Where's
You're
that?
holding it. Hum, no, ra, re, for, If you envision that eighth note, it's
Easier if you think about this eighth note.
Yeah.
Okay. That kind of threw me
yeah,
a little bit,
it's trust me that it's there that you're counting for. One and hold. All right, soprano 2. Everybody on soprano 2. Actually, you start with the soprano ones, right? And you always split it, measure 11.
It's a little bit easier to read that way.
Yeah, it's visually, yeah. So if you move the eighth note to the other end. All right. Since nobody's moving on that finally. Soprano 2?
The last of 11 is
The piano, yeah.
I'll switch her.
But I don't know that it matters for us to have that eighth note. All right, soprano 2, measure 9. 1, 2. Alto and soprano 2. Soprano 1's pick one to sing. 1, 2. Okay, your partners, where did your section go?
She shared too much.
I think to the bathroom.
Yeah.
All right, I will sing. I won't read this. This is what happens when we chat instead of taking a break. All right, I will sing with meaning. Here we go. 3 parts. 3, 4, 1, 2. Good. Next. 1. No pitches yet. 1, 2. Sorry, my bad. 3, 4, 1. Okay, one more time. 3, 4, 1. All right, jump into soprano this time. Everybody on soprano 1. 1, 2. It will definitely be faster than this, for sure. But right now, we got to get that rhythm correctly. All right, everybody on soprano 2. 3, 4, 1. Soprano 1 and 2, alto pick apart. 3, 4, 1. It doesn't feel like it now, but when it's faster, it's easier to do. All right, everybody on the alto? Easy. 3, 4, 1, 2. And breathe whenever you need to breathe, because we're on your tempo. 3 parts. 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, back up to Bukhara. 1, 2. Good. And now, mostly unison till it's not. All right, try to read it. Try to read it. 3, 4, 1. Good. From the top, parts. Yeah, once we get the vocabulary, it's easier and easier to learn. Melody is essentially the same from verse to verse, just the rhythm tweaks around. You change the parts? Yeah, yeah. Change the parts later. All right, here we go. From pick up to A, from A. So 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, you have to review this because if you don't, we'll keep having the same rhythm things over and over again. If you want me to make part recordings, let me know. I would look at Luyahi, and please open to the F page. And we're going to look at the text of the third verse. So if you look at it, there's 2 paragraphs that make up 1 verse. There's a chorus, 2 paragraphs that make up a verse, A and B, and then the last 2 paragraphs are the third verse. As I mentioned last week, there are actually 5 verses. There's 1 verse that only appears in the Hannah Anderstein initial version, which YouTube would not let me paste into the page for YouTube's reasons. And there is a verse there that after the 73 war and settlements, and it became an issue of contention, the settlements in the occupied, at the time what was called the occupied West Bank. And so that verse went away, another verse was added, there's 5 altogether. We are doing 3. So the third verse, the English, and if suddenly rising from the darkness, ve'im pitom yizrach me'ofer. Over our heads, the light of a star, of a shining star, it should be. Al roshenu or kochav. Kol shenevakesh lu yehi. Kol shenevakesh lu yehi repeats over and over and over, just like let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Then grant tranquility and also grant strength. As ten shalva, the ten gam koach, to all those that we love. Lechol ele shenuha, kol shenevakesh lu yehi. So let's go over those words a little bit, and then we're going to look at the setting, because some of you have all of the words and some of you have some of the words, and nobody has none of the words. Okay, so listen once. Ve'im pitom yizrach me'ofer al roshenu or kochav. Okay, ready? Here we go. Me, then you. Ve'im pitom yizrach me'ofer.
Yizrach me'ofer.
Ve'im pitom yizrach me'ofer.
Ve'im pitom yizrach me'ofer.
Al roshenu or kochav.
Al roshenu or kochav.
So ofer is a hard word to translate. They translate it as darkness, but it's more than like physical darkness. It's like oppressive darkness. If you imagine the smoke on 9/11, that black smoke, that's often, okay? The smoke that happens during war, during shelling, during bombings. And imagine that through that smoke, a star, the light of a star is able to penetrate. Suddenly there's a break in the smoke. There's a break in the smoke, and we see a star. And it gives us the hope that the smoke is not going to be here. The darkness is not going to be here forever, whether physical darkness or metaphorical darkness. I'm skipping down to the next set of 3 words because Koshi is a as ten shalva v'ten gam koach. So how is shalva different from shalom? Shalom is peace, like peace between countries. Shalva is inner peace. Ten shalva v'ten gam koach. Lechol ele shenoha. So give peace and strength to all those who we love. Now think about this. I was in high school in the 73 war, so nobody I knew died in that war. Years later, I dated somebody who was 4 or 5 years older than me, and 4 out of every 5 people in their high school class was killed in that war. Okay, it was a horrific war. The losses for Israel, we forget in the United States. You know, and I remember 9/11, and I was like, oh my God, there's going to be thousands. And it's like, okay, well, take the number of people that have died in Israel and calculate it out per capita. 9/11 would have had to be in the tens of thousands to come close to what it was in Israel after the 73 war. Not to diminish 9/11, but just
Like Ukraine.
Well, Israel is smaller than Ukraine. You know, Ukraine had before the war a population of 15 million left, something like that. Yeah, they're significantly bigger than we are, and we don't know the casualties there. We don't know the numbers. But and also remember that Israel has mandatory military service.
Yeah.
Okay. In 73, there were no women on the front lines. Women were not allowed to be on the front lines. They fought to be allowed on the front lines.
They were drivers. I mean,
yeah.
That's our war.
Yeah.
And civilian volunteers, many of them were drivers. But yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But they were in the battle.
I certainly know of people who perished, and everybody at the university, they left. The only people who were there were overseas students.
Yeah. And the buses, I mean, like I said, I was in high school. The buses are drafted. There was no bus service. I did not miss a single day of school. We stood at the bus stop and people stopped and picked us up. And they took and they, you know, we got to school and there was no question. Part of the trauma post that war, and I berate myself that I don't remember her name, because everybody hitched, and soldiers in particular hitched. It was known that they hitched. And an Israeli guy raped and murdered a soldier, a female soldier. And that was in the aftermath of the war, which was so emotionally catastrophic. In the 6-Day War, we are Superman, and you know, and so it was so catastrophic. The information, the Modi'in, the Mossad, all of the information, you know, they dropped the ball. The government dropped the ball. Here we are, you know, we have the international Mossad, which was out hunting their intelligence that hunted Nazi survivors. They were known all around the world. They are the best of the best of the best. Caught with their pants down, thousands of casualties, and then this. I mean, I remember being as shaken by this incident with this young girl as I was with the war, because all of a sudden the soldiers were told, "Don't hitch." Now remember, I'm 10 days, 12 days. I'm going back to school with strangers.
Yeah.
So, give inner peace and strength. So if you know somebody who has lost a child, whether through war, whether through miscarriage, whether through catastrophic medical issues or a car accident, this is something that they take with them their whole lives. It never goes away. And so wish them some measure of inner peace. That is what this and that little star through the darkness. So let's look at, this is heavy, I know. Let's look at page 5. So pick up to measure 69, and you see that the soprano one has the melody. So soprano 2 and alto 2, when you have those long held notes, you're just going to sing that first syllable. E.
Yes, I was going to ask you what
Yeah,
we do.
yeah. You just hold it.
Right.
You're just going to hold it all the way, and then add measure. If I decide I don't like it how it sounds, and I want you to change to the syllable on the down, each syllable on the downbeat. But other than that, you're holding it. That's going to happen in the alto 2 and soprano 2. Okay, soprano 1 has the first the melody, yeah, and alto 1 here is the harmony, and 2s are giving some extra harmony, extra meat to the sound. Okay, so everybody right now on soprano 1, which is the melody. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and the melody swings down to the alto there. And then pick up to the next bit, down to the alto 1. 2, 3. And soprano 2 at measure, whatever the heck that was, 84. Please change the D to an F.
Wait, where? Sorry.
Measure 84, soprano 2. Change that last D to an F. All right, Neely's playing parts. Soprano sings soprano 1, alto sings alto 1. Take away. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Good. We're switching now. Alto 1 and alto 2. Sopranos, pick one. Here we go. Ascend Shabbat. 2, 3. All right.
Can we do that again? Because I didn't know where we were starting.
Yeah, we're gonna do soprano 2 and alto 2 now. From 69 through where we did now. Pick apart sopranos 1 and alto 1. Sing your respective 2s. 2, 3, 4. and alto 2. Soprano 2 and alto 2.
And measures that.
It's just they're so.
Yeah, yeah.
They look really close.
You know what? I didn't want it to be 20 pages long, so I squished it to make it less pages because it was really, really long. Feel free to copy the words somewhere that's easier to see. I don't need the words. Do is fine. All right, add 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Soprano 2. Alto 2. Ready? Okay, here we go. Soprano 2. I think that 7, that 80 is. I think it's natural.
On 80, right?
Yeah, is that?
Yes. Okay. It sounded weird with just 4 parts.
Wait, so sorry. Is it
Do.
is it B natural? Or
It is B natural.
But, so the soprano 2 are not actually holding the B flat, they're switching to B natural then.
Play the 4 parts for a second and then it may be. Yeah, they need to switch to B natural. Yeah, so 80 soprano 2, so you're gonna go down, go up from B flat to B natural.
On the down.
On the down beat. Measure 80. So since you're changing, change it to that's a little shape. Okay.
No.
Here we go. This is the hardest verse. Because I made it harder and harder as well. So I thought we'd start with the hard stuff. Top of the page. Here we go. 4 parts. That's another reason I squished it together so you really could see everything. 2, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, the tempo is not going to be very just. And I wanted those long held notes to sound like bells, you know, bell ringing.
You want, so you still want the parallel fifths, 83 to 84 when you said changing.
81, 82. I knew there was a reason why I didn't do that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, you know,
Okay, yeah,
no one's
sorry.
gonna miss the F, but
Yeah.
but you'll hear the parallel fifths.
Yeah, okay, go back, 80,
That's
84.
all right.
It was like, I knew that there was a reason that I did that, and then I did the melody, I was like, oh,
That's my
yeah.
composition teacher. Only
Yeah.
God gets a 10.
Yeah. All right, can we try this a little bit faster, same thing? How about on do instead of the words, so you're not dealing with the words?
On 81.
From
69.
1, 2, 3. No, let's try. 1, 2. than tutu. Da, da, so I could have written it in eighth notes. I made it 2/4. Yeah, but it's really 2/2. Okay, how are we doing? Everybody have energy to do one more thing? Sure. I guess Song of Ruth is again going to the bottom of the pile. Let's run through No One Is Alone.
I want to tell you that
Okay.
this piece,
Louis.
my mom used to sing it since I was like 8 years.
Wow.
And I didn't know, we didn't know the lyrics because it was Hebrew and we didn't know the meaning. And there was no translation, there was no YouTube back those days. But my mom always liked to sing this.
So where did she learn it?
Because a singer from Israel and her group of musicians went to Colima in 1985, 1987, something. And they did a concert and they sang Hava Nagila, Shalom Aleichem, and like 10 melodies, including this one.
Wow.
And my mom bought the cassette.
Yeah.
And she loved it because she always felt this attraction to the Jewish culture and the language and the music and all that. And well, many things happened, but my mom passed away 2 years ago because of the COVID. So sorry. When you gave me this, maybe now that I know the story, well.
This is why anyone can sing, right? We don't give it words until we see it. Yeah. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
So glad you're here with us. All right, No One Is Alone. Shall we stand? Yeah, we're all crying. I don't think any of us lost a close family member to COVID in this room. We're very lucky. We're very lucky and we're very blessed. I know it's bad. All right. Well, this is going to make you cry too, Elisa. This is No One Is Alone. Did you think? Yeah. It starts out, mother cannot guide you. Now you're on your own. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just crying tonight. That's the theme. That's fine.
But you know what? This is part of having the hard conversations, and that's part of what we wanted to get involved with Unity Project. And I know some of you are like, I don't want to talk about diversity anymore. And I get that, but nobody talks about where we fit in that picture, and therefore it's different when we say, you know, you need to hear our story. The people in Colorado Springs, when I said, you know, people have said to me, aren't you worried that you're going to hell? That's like, no, I don't believe in hell, so why would I worry about it? But you are going to hell.
You have a lot. We're having diversity with them.
No, not them. I was sharing with them. You know, when you talk to a person of color about the fact that you, who appear to them as a white person, are actually a minority, they don't get it because this is never part of the conversation. The Jewish piece is never part of the conversation.
It was when we studied it, when we had a group at Temple Emmanuel.
Okay.
It is within the Jewish community, but it's not within the world.
It's not within the world. It's everything from you go anywhere in Florida. And what church do y'all go to? Okay. Yeah. And so we, you know, when we talk about those things, and we make, and I think partially post World War II, and we all after the Holocaust, you know, most of us are immigrants here, and there is a mentality of don't be boys, If we don't make waves, then we don't make our voices heard, then no one knows what our story is. And that's part of why we exist, to tell our story. Who lives, who dies, who tells your story. Here we go. Go on.
Love, I cannot guide you. Now you're on your own. Only me beside you.
Yeah, we're gonna start this again. We're gonna start this again. Yeah. That was me too. That was me too. So Alicia, we're dedicating this to you. Okay?
You want the altos to sing altos when we get to it?
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
laugh.
Yeah, I want the altos to sing altos.
All right.
Here we go, starting again. Also no, that was not this.
That was not this.
That was not this. It was,
That was being alive.
Thank you.
Love, I cannot guide you. Now you're on your own. Only me beside you. Still you're not alone. No one is alone. Truly, no one is alone. Sometimes people leave you.
Chairs around the table, please.
Sign the card, thank you.
Sign the card for Barb. Make sure you have the music that you need. Text me, Melissa.
There is a program Sunday at the Golden Meyer House, 11
Yeah.
o'clock. Like that, there are flyers.
Colorado Eagle Corral, just in time for Rosh Hashanah.